Google just recently had the 2023 I/O, and honestly, there is so much to cover from the keynote. I'm only running through the announcements I think are exciting though, and those I kind of predicted. Let's get right into it. For those who watched the keynote, we can all agree that I/O was all about AI, as there were numerous exciting announcements about Google's AI advancements. Bard got some useful and exciting new updates that have been in testing for months. Bard now runs on Palm 2, Google's most powerful iteration of its LLM Palm, allowing Bard a number of new collaborative features, including programming in more than 20 languages. For developers, Bard can now write fairly complex codes and give you the option to export that code to Replit or Colab. And for more general responses, you can now export them to Gmail or Google Docs. This leads to the next major announcement, which is Bard's integration with tools like Google Apps and extensions from certain Google partners. In the coming months, Google is bringing the powers of Google Lens to Bard, allowing for more visual interactions with Bard for prompts and responses. With Bard integration with Google apps like Maps, we can soon prompt Bard with questions regarding the location of a place and ask Bard to show it to us on a map. We can ask Bard to structure its responses into a table, and finally move the tabled responses to sheets so you can edit it later. One of the most shocking yet genuinely exciting parts of the keynote was the announcement that Bard will soon have Adobe Firefly as its image generators. This is shocking because Google already has its own AI image generator, Imagen, which is talked about later in the keynote. And it's exciting because Adobe Firefly is what I'm very quickly beginning to consider the holy grail of image generative AI software. Bard is now finally publicly available to over 180 countries, with the added ability to prompt Bard in Japanese and Korean, and an additional 40 languages are already in development. So, we don't have a Bard app for Android yet, but we do have Google Generative AI to make life easier with the announcement of Duet AI for Google Workspace, a collaborative AI that uses Palm 2 to help you with a slew of tasks, such as writing an email in Gmail, writing anything from essays to a job description for small businesses, and more. Duet AI will also greatly increase productivity by helping with organization in Sheets. Here's an example from Google.
Let me show you how you can get more organized with Sheets. Imagine you run a dog walking business and need to keep track of things like your clients, logistics about the dogs, like what time they need to be walked, for how long, etc. Sheets can help you get organized. In a new sheet, simply type something like client and pet roster for a dog walking business with rates and hit create. Sheets sends this input to a fine-tuned model that we've been training with all sorts of Sheet-specific use cases. Look at that. The model figured out what you might need. The generated table has things like the dog's name, client info, notes, etc. This is a good start for you to tinker with. Sheets made it easy for you to get started, so you can go back to doing what you love.
And of course, Duet AI with slides can use Palm to train Imagen, Google's in-house text-to-image generative AI, to create images and graphics within slides that rely on prompts and the content of the slides for context, with testing starting in June and public release before the end of the year. If this video has proven insightful so far, a sub to the channel wouldn't be Bard. One of the biggest new skill and buzzword that has come with the rapid advancement of AI is prompt engineering, the ability to create very detailed and specific prompts to make the most out of these generative AI models. For us who are quite bad at prompting or just cannot quite put your thoughts into prompts, Google AI can help you create prompts that are specific to certain contexts. Sidekick, as the Google dev team calls it, is a new sidebar in the web page of most Google apps, similar to the placement of Bing charts when browsing the web on Microsoft Edge. Sidekick gives prompts and suggestions based on the document or content being worked on. It can use the available information on the page to, for example, give you options to fill a story you're writing or fill in an essay with the necessary info, and uses Imagen to also generate and suggest images where needed. Sidekick will be live when Duet AI with Workspace is available. AI in Google Search now helps with search phrase understanding without the need for too much keywording. If you've ever had a hard time searching up content, perhaps because your search phrase feels too long or unstructured, with AI in search, users can now make sense of complex questions and searches with result structure to show you an AI snapshot and understanding of your search phrase and showing info relevant to your search. Google Search now has a subtly new user interface that prioritizes personal insights and reviews for searches that require trusted user or reviewer opinion to enhance user experience. Users now have the option to ask follow-up questions in search, which opens up a conversational mode just like Bing's chat mode. Unlike Bing though, while in conversational mode, you can just scroll down seamlessly to check out other search results that are still similar to native, non-generative AI-enhanced search results. To test this out, Google is introducing Search Labs in Labs, which is rolling out over the next weeks, and US nationals can join the waitlist today. Google also announced some non-bar related news, including allowing customers to train their AI models on Google Cloud and build generative AI applications using Vertex AI, Google's AI platform. With Vertex, users can access foundation models for chat, text, and image generative AI using the Palm API, Google's answer to OpenAI's GPT API, whilst taking jabs at OpenAI, saying their customer data is more secure and solely belongs to the customer. Google already has companies using their Palm API like Canva, Uber, Wendy's, Orange, Deutsche Bank, and Replit. In Replit's case, to allow developers to essentially prompt an app into existence. As part of Vertex AI, Google is introducing Imagen, their model for text-to-image generation, Cody, the coding tool to help build softwares faster, and Chip, the speech-to-text AI that brings speech-to-text accuracy for over 300 languages. Google has added RHLF for training models and allowing users the ability to fine-tune their models using data from specific industries or domains. Lastly, to mitigate the risks of unfair bias in AI, Google has set principles to guide their development approach to AI and help reduce AI-generated content misinformation, amongst other things. Google is creating tools to help evaluate the legitimacy of images using the About This Image feature in Google Search and Lens later this year. All AI-generated images from Google image generators will have a watermark and metadata to mark them as AI-generated, and this will be easily visible in search. There is so much stuff to cover from the keynote. I might do a part 2, but these are the most exciting for me. Check out this video on the leaked Google internal document about how open source is winning the AI race. Thanks for watching.